Hey everybody, Gadget Garrison here. So today we're going to be taking a look at 6 different Keychain Multitools. These are all under $10 retail, lightweight, feature a variety of tools. I've got some name brand, also some things I just found off of Amazon. We're going to take a look, see which ones are worth your money. Holidays are coming up. If you're looking for a good stocking stuffer, I've got some recommendations here for you. Without further ado, let's take a look. First up, we're going to be taking a look at the Gerber Shard. Of all of these tools, I would say this one feels the most sturdy. So this tool has a pry bar. You've got 2 different flathead options, a wire stripper, bottle opener, and on the back you've got a Phillips head. I will say this is lacking a bit. Wish they would have improved this. I definitely had some issues using it. You've also got the lanyard hole to fit on your keychain easily. I like the angled pry bar. Of all the pry bars on any of these tools, I would say this one is the best. Definitely had fun using this. This is the one I've currently got on my keychain, and I have utilized the most for opening boxes, bottles, just little projects here and there. So really like the tool. We're gonna weigh it, measure it, and then I will tell you whether I recommend it or not. All right, we're gonna take a weight here. So we've got 20.8 grams, 0.73 ounces. We'll take a look at the length. You're looking at just under 3 inches for this tool. Overall, I think this is a great little tool. I would highly recommend it. All right, now we're going to take a look at the Kershaw PT1. Once again, made out of really great material, like the large pry bar and scraping surface there. You've got a bottle opener. On the back here, you have a flathead driver. Wish it was a little bit thinner. Had some issues really fitting it in and trying to unscrew some things. And on the back, you have your lanyard hole. Features this nice branded grip on both sides and good textured thumb grip along the top. I think this is an excellent little tool. I would definitely recommend this, especially at this price point. I think this is awesome. Kershaw puts out just a great product. Their knives are excellent. They really did not miss with this tool here, so highly recommend. I've also seen some people will take the grips off to get an even more compact factor there. So taking a look at the weight, you have 25.2 grams, 0.89 ounces, measuring in at just under 3 inches. Highly recommend this tool, worth the money. Now we're going to be taking a look at the Swiss+Tech 14-in-1 Keychain Multitool. Along the front, you've got a pry bar, 2 different flathead drivers, and wire stripper there. You have a metric ruler, hex wrench driver, various hex wrench drivers throughout the entire tool. Also these square drivers here. Really neat tool. Feels a little lighter than the Kershaw PT1 and the Gerber Shard, which I actually like. I do think as far as the uses, this could be great for someone who works on bikes or maybe small engines. The hex wrench drivers could be very useful. Otherwise, if you don't need that, I would probably lean towards the Gerber Shard or the Kershaw PT1. But we'll take a look at the weight and measurements on this, and I will give you a recommendation. So for the Swiss+Tech, you're looking at 17.4 grams or 0.61 ounces and measuring in at just 3 inches overall. So great tool. Once again, I like the lightweight factor of it, but I do think that there are other tools that are better at this price point. Now we're going to take a look at the Nite Ize Doohickey Plus, ultra lightweight tool with a ton of features. It's got a scoring point along the top with the flathead driver, as well as a nail puller or wire stripper. serrated edge, which I found very useful for opening boxes. You've got a bottle opener and hex wrench drivers here from 1/4 inch to 3/8 inch. A ruler running along the top, and on the back here you have a Phillips driver. I think of all the tools I tested, this one had the best Phillips driver. Also in a really convenient spot, you can really get some torque on it. You also have this little carabiner clip, makes it easy to add to your keychain. I would highly recommend this tool. I do think it is in line, if not better, than the Gerber Shard and Kershaw PT1. Also, Doohickey, been around for a long time, has a bit of a cult following. Just all around great little tools that they make. We'll take a look at the weight and measurements now. So we'll get a weight on this. You've got 10.7 grams or 0.38 ounces. Looking at the measurement now, 2 3/4 inches. Very compact, very lightweight. If you're looking for a neat thing to add to the stocking, they will find this useful. We'll take a look at this Shark mini tool now. I got this off Amazon because it looked neat and it was under 10 bucks. But after further use, I don't think I can give this one a recommendation. The material does feel like it might break under pressure. The tools aren't as well made or useful as some of the other ones, especially the wire cutter here. I couldn't really get it to work very well for my purposes. The Phillips head is very thin. You do have a serrated edge along the bottom, which could be useful, but also found that when I carried this in my pocket a couple times, it caught on my jeans. Definitely not something I'm looking for. A lot of sharp edges on this tool. That's one of the main reasons I wouldn't recommend. It is pretty lightweight. It does feature some hex wrench drivers. Also got a little pry-bar along the front here, but I just can't really recommend this. I think if you're looking for something like a conversation piece, yeah, maybe this could be neat, but it won't really serve as a great mini tool. Honestly, I think it's lacking and wouldn't recommend throwing this on your keychain. And now we'll take a look at the weight. So we will do our weigh-in now. You've got 12.7 grams or 0.44 ounces, measuring in at almost 3.5 inches. So this is probably, of all the tools, the longest one that we will look at today. And finally, we'll take a look at this 20-in-1 key multi-tool here. Did a little short video on this. It is heavy. I also found it to have way too many sharp edges. It does have a lot of neat features, but I mean, if they were going for the house key look, this is also 3 times bigger than your average key. It's definitely not inconspicuous or something that would say is a good mini tool. It does feature a ruler. You've got a flathead driver along the end. Box cutter here is what they advertise this as. We have a bottle opener. Along the back, you've got the Phillips head. Wish that would have been on the front end, as I feel like you could get a better grip of it. Hex wrench drivers, M2.5 up to 3/8 inch, and a protractor here, as well as what they advertise as a pry-bar here, but I found it way too thick and didn't really work for my purposes. So once again, it's heavy, too many sharp corners, and it stands out on your keychain. So we'll take a look at the weight, but this one I'm not going to give a recommend. For weight, you've got 25.6 grams or 0.9 ounces. We'll take a look at the measurement now. Looks like you're going to be just over 3 inches overall. Following our review of each of these, I will give my overall recommendations. First things first, I would take this Key Multitool out of the picture altogether, as well as the Shark tool. Both of those found them to be a bit of a gimmick. They're not going to hold up. They're either too heavy, too large. If you're looking for something that's really good bang for your buck, I would say these 4 tools overall. If I had to pick a top 3, I would take the Swiss+Tech out of the picture. It's a little bit heavier than the others, as well as doesn't really feature anything better than the Doohickey, the Kershaw PT1, or the Gerber Shard. My overall pick would be the Nite Ize Doohickey Plus. Definitely super lightweight, does a bit of everything. I also think it had the best box cutter here, which is usually what I end up using these little tools for. I also think that it had a pretty solid Phillips head here, better than the other tools, and something that the Gerber Shard and the Kershaw PT1 did not have. Also really like the little clip-on. Made it really easy to attach to my keychain. So this is my number 1 pick in this category for Keychain Multitools under $10. Don't think you can go wrong with the Gerber Shard. Excellent tool. This would be my second pick. And finally, you have the Kershaw PT1, my third pick. All around great tool. Definitely feels sturdy in your hand. And if you're looking for a scraping or pry tool, this would be one of my top options. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please take a moment, like and subscribe. This is my first review video, planning on coming out with several more. So stay tuned. Really appreciate you listening in, and leave a comment. What do you plan on buying? And do you own any of these?